All right, let's talk about two of the biggest and maybe most confusing acronyms in cybersecurity, SIEM and SOAR. These are absolutely critical technologies that companies rely on to defend themselves. Understanding how they're different, and more importantly, how they work together, is key. So let's dive right in.
And just a quick heads up before we really get going, this is a high-level overview, kind of like the essentials you need to know. The full tutorial goes way, way deeper, but for the next few minutes, we're going to hit the absolute core concepts.
So, you might be wondering, why do we even need these super complex systems? Well, it all boils down to a very human problem. Our digital world has just created this absolute tsunami of data and threats, and frankly, the people on the front lines are completely overwhelmed.
I mean, to really put this into perspective, get this. In 2023, there was a global cybersecurity skills gap of over 3.8 million open jobs. That's a mind-boggling number of empty chairs on the digital front line.
And you know, that's not just some abstract number on a report. It has huge real-world consequences. It means the security analysts who are on the job are stretched incredibly thin. They're facing this insane amount of pressure to protect their companies against threats that are changing all the time.
And if that wasn't bad enough, they're literally drowning in noise. Even with good tools, security teams are just getting bombarded with thousands upon thousands of alerts every single day. This leads to something called alert fatigue, where it becomes almost impossible to spot the real, critical threat in a sea of false alarms.
And that's exactly where our first technology comes into the picture. To deal with this flood of data, the industry came up with SIEM. You can think of it as the first big shot at giving security teams a fighting chance, finally giving them one single place to see everything that's happening across their network.
So, what is a SIEM really? Well, it's basically the central nervous system for security. Its main job is to pull in log data from everywhere. We're talking servers, firewalls, you name it, and then analyze it all in one spot. It's the detective sifting through mountains of evidence trying to find suspicious activity.
Its main job is to give teams that crucial bird's-eye view. By collecting all the logs, analyzing them in real time, and firing off alerts, a SIEM helps analysts connect the dots in ways they could just never do manually.
But, and this is a huge but, here's the catch. A SIEM is fantastic at finding potential problems, but it doesn't actually fix them. It just raises a red flag. Then, a human analyst has to manually investigate, confirm, and then respond to every single alert. So we've solved the visibility problem, but we've just made the manual work problem even bigger.
And this new problem of manual overload is exactly why the industry created SOAR. So if SIEM is the detective finding all the clues, SOAR is the automated first responder that actually does something about them.
SOAR is all about one thing: action. Its entire purpose is to take those alerts from the SIEM and automate what happens next. It's the muscle of the security team, handling all the repetitive, boring, time-consuming tasks so the human experts can focus on the really tough stuff. So how does it pull this off? Well, it's all about automation and orchestration. A SOAR platform can automatically triage alerts, it can run these predefined workflows called playbooks to investigate, and it can even tell other security tools what to do to contain a threat. All of this without a human having to click a single button.
Okay, so this is the most crucial point I want you to take away. This is not a competition. It's not SIEM versus SOAR. They are partners. One provides the intelligence, the other provides the automated action. It's a classic brains and brawn team-up.
Let's just break it down side by side. The SIEM's job is to collect and analyze a ton of data to find threats. The SOAR's job is to automate and orchestrate the response to those threats. Simple, right? One thinks, the other does.
They also look at different kinds of data. A SIEM is built to drink from a fire hose of raw, unstructured log data. SOAR, on the other hand, it's designed to work with the clean, structured, actionable alerts that the SIEM has already processed and said, hey, this one's important.
And that really highlights the key difference in what they produce. A SIEM's job is done when it creates an alert that a person needs to look at. A SOAR's job begins when it takes that alert and kicks off an automated response using one of those pre-built playbooks. And when you actually put these two systems together, working in harmony, wow, the results are not just a little bit better, they are absolutely transformative. Organizations that do this see incredible improvements across their entire security operation.
I mean, just look at these numbers from actual case studies. One company saw a 90% drop in the number of alerts they had to handle by hand. Another cut their false positives by 70%. And across the board, companies are seeing a 70% faster response time, and that's a huge deal for stopping attacks before they do real damage.
The money part is just as impressive. That same company that cut their manual alerts by 90%, they also saw $1.5 million in annual operational savings. So this isn't just about being more secure. It's about making the whole operation way more efficient.
So where is all of this going? Well, this partnership between SIEM and SOAR is so effective that it's basically setting the stage for the next big thing in cybersecurity.
Think about it like a logical progression. First, SIEM gave us visibility. Then, SOAR added automated action. The next logical step, which is where the industry is heading now, is something called XDR, or Extended Detection and Response. The goal of XDR is basically to combine all of these capabilities into one single unified platform. But look, no matter what acronym we use, SIEM, SOAR, XDR, the most important takeaway is this. With teams so understaffed and threats coming in so fast, automation in security is no longer a nice-to-have. It is an absolute necessity for survival.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. The bad guys are already using automation to launch faster and smarter attacks. The only way to win this game is to fight fire with fire. So the question isn't if organizations will automate their defenses, but how they're going to use it to stay one step ahead.